So yeah, just to repeat, yeah, again, I'm recording this now, but just to put it on my page, yeah. So again, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have been falling, as I covered last time, and I was expecting and holding on to my shorts. Uh, we are approaching the major area where I am going to cover all my shorts and go long. And to start, obviously, I'm gonna go with Bitcoin. Bitcoin basically rules everything for me. And so this is a Bitcoin chart, and this is a weekly chart. So on this weekly chart, if you remember, I was looking at this trend line, or that being a lot of support. We are still a bit a ways from it, and you can see that this is part of the reason why I have not covered my short and gone long yet. And this is, this support, this upper trend line. I think the lower one is a lot better, but I don't want to wait for that lower one to cover, okay? Because this can easily just hit that upper one and then bounce up. Because I have a Dash also has reached, is almost at like its major support. Litecoin has reached its major support. And so I mean Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum haven't, which is why I'm looking for a little bit lower. But I'm not necessarily, if Bitcoin drops to that lower trend line, it could potentially take Dash to a break of support, and I don't think it's smart to bet on that. So this is basically my view for now. This is the weekly chart, and so do I see anything? I mean, again, later on I'm going to be checking volume on CryptoWatch, but for now, MetaTrader charts are a lot. Basically, they're just a lot better, and so I like using MetaTrader, and the charts are a lot more robust. So that's why I'm doing this. Okay. So that's the weekly chart. Let me go to the daily chart in Bitcoin. And that's daily. Hold on, I'm sorry. So this is a daily chart, and this basically just gives us a zoomed in view. I mean, I don't have MACD on here, and I think that eventually I'm going to put MACD, because I found MACD very helpful. However, I don't know if it's necessary to have both MACD and stochastics on the same, on the same chart. Maybe MACD, maybe stochastics alone is sufficient. The main reason I use them is because of divergence. It's very good at helping forecast bottoms and tops, like when I see divergence. And so, I mean, if I have divergence stochastics, there's probably going to be divergence in MACD. But, I guess maybe why not have both? I haven't done it yet, but this is probably something I'll do. Sorry. Yeah, divergence. Yeah, it's very important. That's what I use oscillators for the most, and it is useful it is useful a little bit for figuring out tops and bottoms, but it's in terms of like when MACD and stochastic is very oversold or overbought, but it's not ideal because in currencies there's a lot of long trending movements, and so you know, like this became oversold here, right? But basically, and I mean, but it continued to sell off, right? So it's kind of less useful in that regard, but for divergence, I found divergence is very helpful. So yeah, okay, so is there anything else that I need to probably look at? No. Again, this is what I have had my eye on, this situation, this triangle, and I think you're going to see a bounce up back to the top, or at least the middle, and so there's going to be a very good buy. I mean, you're trading Forex, but if you buy cryptos, like let's say if you buy Ethereum, you're going to have at least a 20 to 30% rise within like a week. So you're not going to be able to make that kind of return in Forex. It's just not going to happen. Because these things move so much. And they move in a very trendy way, and so you're not going to get a lot of this crap. You're not going to get a lot of range bound action. You're going to get a lot more move up, brief move down, and then down, up, down. It moves a lot, okay? So I am looking for that. Okay, so this is a daily chart. Is there anything else that I can look at as very important? Not really. And by the way, if someone walks into the streaming room, if someone else joins, just let me know. I mean, I don't think anyone will, because I haven't recorded any of the streams, and so I'm just gonna record this for the first time, and you have to do that a lot just to get noticed. But let me know, because I'm not looking at that. Okay, 4 hour. Yeah, I am basically, it's more of the same. I'm looking for, you could say there's divergence here, prices dropping as we have a higher thing, but we haven't reached support. So I don't think, we haven't reached support in Bitcoin, so I don't think that this is a bottom. Because here, a lot of people aren't going to be buying. But a lot of people don't want to sell, put on fresh sells, which is why I think that this is really hesitating a lot. So I don't think we're going to have a big turnaround, because people don't want to buy until they think support's been hit, because people are waiting to buy off support, and they're anticipating that they think that other people are not going to buy either. They're not going to, the up isn't going to happen until it drops here first. And I think they're right. You can see it in the price action, that hesitation, that lack of desire to get in. And, I'm certainly one of those people that's waiting. Okay? And so I think there's just gonna be one more pop down. I'm really hoping it's soon because I'm tired of waiting for this to happen. It's not boring, it's fine, but earlier today there was a good move down and I was sort of on edge thinking that that move down would happen, and it hasn't yet. So I'm kind of in wait mode. All right. Do I see anything on stochastics? No, I mean no, and then again, but my planning is on the daily and the 4-hour charts. I want to keep it on those daily and the 4-hour because that's where the big moves, turning points, and big moves will come from. If I look at an hourly chart, I can get mixed up in a lot of chop, right? So then hourly, all that makes sense is like a move back up to a move back up to here. But you know, it's not that great. Okay. This is what, like $100 range in Bitcoin, which is 1%, and that's very not significant, and I don't want to deal with that. If I see Bitcoin break this high, then I would have to consider that maybe the bottom is in, and I would basically try to determine that if I see other things breaking highs. At least it doesn't necessarily mean I'd go long, but at least maybe I'd cover. It would probably be smart to cover some because you could have people buying on a pullback. Okay? Makes sense? Yeah? So please, please, please drop, mother frigger. And I think the latitude is there because this move down is likely going to be mirrored in the next move down. So this was like a $300 move almost, and I'm hoping that we'll get another one of those down to support. Okay? Okay. Are you there? I can't, oh. Anyway, do you have any questions, Nuno? Questions or no? Because, Nuno, what I'm doing is I'm literally telling you how you can make money in this. Like you said, you're short on money these days. You know, if you had gone short, you'd be up, not a lot, but like a few percent in Bitcoin. You'd be up certainly, like, you know, maybe up to 15% in some other cryptos. And, you know, and I'm telling you that you can easily plan to make a good amount of money in the next couple days by going long and then holding it for like a week or so. Okay. So you have, you know, I think it will help you to understand that, or to be conscious of that. Okay. I'm not just. This isn't just like me talking. Um, this is me actually telling you how you can make money. Okay. And I'm not just talking, all right? And I'm not just talking or whatever. This is my I'm managing a few accounts, but this is one of them. And you can see my P&L right here in Bitfinex. All right? And that's just, this is my P&L within like a portfolio that I'm trading just within like last couple weeks. That's about it. All right. So, you know, you do have a good opportunity to make money here, and if I were you, I would definitely get on it if I could. If I were you, all right. And with most forex accounts, you can trade Bitcoin, but better than Bitcoin is others. But if you trade Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin has a huge amount of volatility, but it's the least volatile of the cryptocurrencies. So with forex accounts, you can generally go 3-to-1 leverage. With cryptos, I would recommend, if you're trading Bitcoin, to go at least 2-to-1 leverage at the lows, just below 7K. All right. Don't do it with money you don't have. If you can't afford to lose it, because if you do lose it, you'll kill me. But you know. All right. Anyway, moving on. So that's Bitcoin. I'm done with Bitcoin. The only thing what I haven't done is I haven't looked at volume, so I haven't seen like, very likely what I think I'd be seeing is fewer people selling on the way down. So I'd see declining volume, which would be very healthy for any bull market. If I go to crypto, I'll just go very quickly to Crypto Watch. Crypto Watch is where you can see volume, like live real feeds. It's like my go-to for that stuff. The charting it's better than like other places, but it really sucks. I have to use an MT4. I see a little bit of that, except for the big move down today. I guess you could say there is some of this decline. Yeah, I would guess you could say this is a decline in volume overall, which is very bullish, because it basically means that there's not a lot of trading here. Probably because people don't want to sell, but people don't want to buy it, and especially the closer we get, and that's why I think it's taking so long to get down there. But I think it'll get down there, and then when it gets down there, this is telling me that things are likely gonna flip. And see, one thing, remember I talked about divergence. I have a 2-hour chart here, and in a 4-hour chart, there's very clear divergence. Like it wasn't as clear on stochastics, but I guess this is why MACD can give me information that it's not otherwise. This MACD is telling me that, you know, we might head a little lower, but probably not like break to new lows, which is, I mean, like break below like the upper 6Ks. And so that's helpful to me. Okay. All right. So yeah, okay. Sound good? Look good? Is that clear so far? All right. When I go to Ethereum, I have all these trend lines that I was using before. And again, this is a daily chart, but it's more or less a weekly chart. I mean, I guess the point of a weekly chart is I can see things with bigger candlesticks, and I can look at, you know, oversold, overbought conditions on the weekly. I mean, look at this. Look at the major bottom before it came right in the lows in stochastics. So that would have been very helpful to have seen that. I actually went long the bottom, but I didn't but I got out quickly, and then I just like took a break, which is my mistake. I was kind of like pissed about getting faked out, and I did, you know, I kind of, because of that, I didn't analyze things fully, and I didn't really think through that there could be a huge like short covering move up, and you know, I missed out on a lot of money, which I'm over it now, but I was like so upset. Alright, anyway, so yeah, what am I looking for? I am looking for, hold on. I mean, what the? Okay, is there anything here that I think is like, that worth it? Oh, maybe this. Maybe not. It's, you know, this didn't really get there. I'll leave it on. I'm not like crazy. I'm not thinking that trend line is all that important. Maybe it could be. But what's more important is I have this like head and shoulders, and if I measured this distance to the neckline, that would project somewhere in the mid 400s, which coincides with that trend line. So roughly around there, I definitely want to be going long. So this really could turn into a significant trend line, actually, because this has a very good chance of bottoming there. And so the next time, after Ethereum rallies and drops down there, that could be another short-term buy, though I don't think that buy will take things back up all the way. Okay? And in terms of moving averages, I don't really use them that much. They have a use. Like if I look at this daily chart, there is a good, like it'll ride the 5 EMA up. And if it's too far away, it usually won't last too long above it. Or below, in general. Like here, it started the day way below the 5 EMA, and it did sell off, but it pulled all the way back. And then here did the same thing until it started a day, and it on the 5 EMA, and it completely sold off of it. Because it's basically like, it's like the center line, I guess. It's sort of like like it goes back, you know, it's like the center line, and it just goes back to it if it strays too far, because it's too far abnormal if it's too far away. Does that make sense? And so it is a good reference point. But I'm not like, my overall view of what's going on is not based on that, but it can be helpful of from where specifically each day price might go off, or what is the likelihood that if there's a big sell-off, if price are like, what is the likelihood that it will hold as opposed to pull back all the way. Like if price is very far from the 5 EMA and it didn't pull back to hit it, how likely is it that it will just continue dropping? If it started too far from the 5 EMA, it's very unlikely to continue, and it means I should probably close my positions, an expectation that you'll get a big pullback in price of some kind. Does that make sense? And you know, the other thing is the distance of this. Let me get my marker. The distance of this. Oh shit, that's a crappy color. And I want to make it thicker so you can see. The distance of this is likely going to be mirrored by this next move down. Obviously, this does not match that. It's not long enough. And so that's projecting a significant move, another leg down. And so, yeah, I have enough reason to think that that's going to be the case. Okay? So yeah, I guess this trend line is going to be a very good target, and it does seem, when I zoom in, it does seem to be a factor. I mean, look at this. It broke below, but that was resistance each way up until it finally broke through above. And then once it broke through, you had this big green candle. This really makes sense. And if I had gone through these charts more carefully, I would have much more clearly observed this happening. And which is why it's very important to go over your charts, because even today I was thinking I kind of have a strong grasp of what's going on, and none of the analysis that I'm doing has changed any of my views. However, it's kind of sharpened things and made me aware of certain things like this that I wasn't seeing before, and also is making me more confident so that I'm able to like really take things properly, like right at the level when it gets there, as opposed to trying to figure out what's going on at that time. Does that make sense? Alright, anyway, that's it for Ethereum. And I went through the main charts that I need to go to, the daily and the 4-hour chart. And then the hourly chart I'm looking at for, as price gets to my area. And then also to plan like where is the support and resistance on a more I don't know, I guess precise level. So yeah, I am excited to hopefully make more, and we'll see. I'm looking at Litecoin now. Litecoin, this is a daily chart. Again, we've actually reached support here, but Bitcoin hasn't, and that's a bigger factor. And so there's two things that could happen. This could just not fall anymore, or this could fall, instead of to this upward trend line, it could fall down to these lows. What is this? Yeah, it could fall down to these lows, the prior lows at like around 100. Okay? Where it just falls back to around, like a little lower down to here, and I guess this slightly rising support would turn into horizontal support. Alright, and I would actually like that more, because that means I'd make a little more on these shorts. Okay. You know. You said you have 1 or 2 friends who are still trading, right? Can you invite them to these streaming sessions? Do you think you can do that? Well, obviously, most people work, but, you know, I'm not expecting people to, like, not work and, or basically forever, like, you know, live at home. Well, I'd have to schedule, you know, we'd have to work based on time, so based on the time they're available, then we can do more. I mean, if they're available maybe on weekends, too, it might be worth it for me to actually have weekend sessions also, like in the morning your time. Because on weekends, that's pretty much the only time I have, and I don't know if I want to do it, if it's only one person. So can you invite them and then let me know like tomorrow? And actually we'll do this. If they come, if you invite them and they end up staying, like those 2 people, and they become like people who are regularly in the session for like several weeks at least, I'll give you like 3 hours of more personalized coaching where I'm actually also like I guess the way we were doing it before, where we were on the phone and I was also going through your screens and like, you know, all that stuff. Does that sound good to you? Because I would like to build this out so that there are at least like 10 people. And, you know, obviously that will benefit you. Because I don't need to charge for this. You know, I'm not doing this because I need money. I'm trading profitably, so I don't need that. But I am doing this because this helps my trading. And it allows me to socialize when in trading you often have to I have to be in front of the screen by myself. Like for hours and hours, and it's very antisocial. You know? So I would love to have more people around so I don't feel like a hermit. And hopefully you'll be learning enough and then copying some of what I'm doing in terms of trading where you can make good returns even with a small amount of money. Because even if you only have $2,000, if you make a 30% return on this next move up, you'll make $600 in a couple weeks. Not doing much. And that's with no leverage. You know? Alright. Okay. So going back to Litecoin, so again, it seems like you could have a serious drop to these prior lows, which is several more percent down. That's what I'm hoping for. The worst case would be if Bitcoin drops, Ethereum drops, everything drops, and Litecoin just stays here. Because if it stays here, I'm not making any money on my short. If Bitcoin was already at its support, I would be buying. I would have covered my Litecoin short already. But because it hasn't, I cannot go long yet, because there is still a lot of downside room and reason to think that there will be downside, and that a lot of people are not willing to go long until with Bitcoin not having gotten close enough to support. You know, it's just not there yet, and so I don't think a lot of people are gonna long. So that's what I'm kind of have to bet on, and then hopefully that'll be true. All right. Hold on for just a minute. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Any questions about Litecoin? I mean, did I see anything on the weekly or daily charts that I might have missed? No, not really. And eventually, I think this will break, and we're gonna see a huge move down, which will be fantastic. Okay, because when you see these kinds of traps, they're setting up for big moves when they break out, and that will be a huge opportunity to make money. Okay, I just don't think it's ready yet. We're gonna have another bounce. Okay. Daily said nothing's showing. I would probably assume volume is similar to Bitcoin. Stochastics showing some divergence that this could be it. Or we'll have a pullback, but we're getting that now, and I'm hoping for more down, right? So nothing's really all that different there. I'm gonna go to Bitcoin Cash, which has actually been like the best short, because you had a huge like head and shoulders here. Okay, pull back to the neckline, and then a huge sell-off. And technically, if you look at the head and shoulders, this targets in the 700s. I don't know if we'll get there. It could. It certainly could. But we'll see. The 700s would take it to like this maybe mid 700s would take it to this area right here, this congestion. But again, just like before, you have this big drop here. If that's gonna be mirrored usually by another drop of a similar length. It would be weird if it stopped right there. Okay. And so this is the daily chart. Is there anything else that I kind of think I need to see? Not really. Potentially this. But that could happen. See, that trend line, it could fall as much. I don't think it'll fall to the trend line. If I'm lucky, it will. It could fall to the trend line and then turn back up, which gives this great area of support that if it breaks later will be very easy to short from. Okay? If I go to the 4-hour, I'm basically trying to see if I can get any more information about, what people are doing with their sells and buys, and trying to interpret like what they've done so far and see what that means for what can happen in the near future. That's basically what trading analysis is, chart analysis is. So yeah, I'm just hoping for more downside. Not even hoping. I think I'm almost expecting it, but I have to wait for it. It's just a huge pain in the ass because this is taking a long time. And I don't know when it'll be over. Right? All right. Do you have any questions on Bitcoin Cash? Bitcoin Cash is another main one. So again, the major ones that I feel like carry this market are Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, and Dash and Ethereum. Okay. With the exception of, oh yeah, okay, never mind. So those are the ones I reference most. All right. They're like among the biggest ones or the biggest ones, and yeah. So I feel like they carry a lot more weight. Though all of them are very important, and it is important to look at a lot of them, not just these. Okay. Okay, moving on. This is Ripple. All right. Well, what do I see on a daily chart in Ripple? There's that trend line that I guess could be drawn. I don't think we're gonna see price drop there. It's too low relative to where Bitcoin is. This would have to be that would be a huge drop. So I think it's very unlikely. But if it drops there, I'll be extremely happy. But I'm going to long before that. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Okay. But anyway, this is a daily chart. You know, if anything, I mean, I can easily see this, you know, pop up like this. One thing I need to do is actually also look at daily charts, and at the start of each day, think about what the daily candlestick will look like. Because using, you know, 5 EMA and Bollinger Bands, that is not too hard to do. That's possible. And then support and resistance. Something like this. Back up to there. Maybe that trend line will be something. And then I'll go long. I'll close my long around there and then go short, hoping for this. It'll probably bounce. I don't know if it'll get back up before then doing this. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. And, you know, you might think, well, isn't this a huge pullback? I mean, you have to understand, like, where did this stuff come from? Like, Ripple was, what, like a penny? And it went to, like, $3? That's insane. Like, you know, these cryptos have not even gotten below their November prices. This is still very early in many respects for this crash. Or for this bear market. And I think if you know what you're doing, if you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money. Okay? Hold on. Oh, you gotta go? What do you mean you have to go too? Oh, like, yeah. I'll hurry this up and then I'll finish Dash. Is that what you want? So yeah, and then on the 4-hour chart, is there anything that was not showing on the daily chart? Not really. Volume, I would expect it's not similar from the other ones. I'm just expecting like a dribble down more, and then I can go long. I just want this to happen. There's nothing on Bollinger. Bollinger Bands are opening up, meaning this is like a breakout of this consolidation, and hopefully we'll have one more move similar to this. Okay? Similar to this fall. And then Dash has been, very good short. Well, we're already at this support area, this support trend line, but this doesn't mean it's support, right? This could break a little lower, but we're almost at this trend line, and if Bitcoin was at support, I would go long Dash, but there's, because of Bitcoin, it looks like this will break, this could possibly break below this temporarily, right? So that's basically it. And then if I look at EOS is important because it often leads, and it was a very good short for a while, but it's turned into a shit one because you had this spike up. I'm hoping that right now what's happening is this over here. You have this consolidation, a break, pullback, and I'm hoping you get one more move down, and then I can go long, cover my short. That's what I'm really hoping. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, I have to look at daily and 4 hours for the information that's telling me what other people are doing with their money and what they're not doing, and then figure out, does that mean that where does that probably mean they're gonna buy, and what does it probably mean they're gonna do next? So that's what I'm trying to figure out, and then I'll plan my trades and entries based on getting right in front of that. Okay? Alright, Nuna, I'll talk to you later. Yeah, definitely find out about those other people, and then maybe we'll do more personalized coaching, and then we'll have like a 3-person room, and maybe it can continue to grow from there. Okay? Have a good day.